Hi, I'm Rowan Drake, and you're watching Celeb Secrets TV.
I wanted to start out by having you share a little bit about yourself and who you are as an artist for people who might not know you yet.
I kind of would say my music falls in the world of alternative pop, indie pop, but as many of us artists kind of agree, it's very hard to box ourselves into just one genre, but it's definitely pop music. I kind of got my start making music at an early age. I grew up in Ithaca, New York, which is a town upstate, and really just kind of have always been fascinated by music and the creation of it, and it's always just been a big part of my life. So
You actually released a brand new single just a little over a week ago. Can you talk a little bit about that and the inspiration behind it?
yeah, so Abandonment Issues is my favorite song I've released so far. I made it about a year ago when I first moved to Los Angeles. I had just moved out of my hometown. It was just a lot for me, and I was kind of going through a lot of stuff internally. So that song kind of came out as an expression of the overwhelm and anxiety that I had felt leaving home and all of the people I felt really attached to back home. And anyway, yeah, about a year later, here we are, the song's out, and I'm very proud of it. So
Earlier this summer, you did release another single called Two People. Can you talk a little bit about that?
yeah, so Two People was my first release in a long time since being in high school and having zero clue what I was doing. And that song meant a lot to me. I think it was something very current in my life, just the feeling of putting so much into someone else, almost as if you put a piece of yourself into them. And then when that kind of takes on a new light or goes away, it's just such an intense feeling and you feel like you've lost a bit of yourself. So that song, I'm so happy to see it connecting in the way it is for people, because it not only applies to relationships, which is what I wrote it about, but it applies to, parents or loved ones or friends who passed away or just moved on in life. So I think it's just such a widespread song that so many people can kind of really feel and get in touch with their feelings about. So I'm very proud of that one.
Is this a part of a bigger project? Are you working towards an EP or an album or anything like that?
I think so all the songs are streaming kind of into an EP. So the EP is being built as the singles come out. I think right now we live in a world where singles are a lot more digestible, especially for up and coming artists. So I think there will be an EP for sure in the future, but I'm kind of trying to release like a song a month right now. So
Do you have any single that's set to release next, or are you still kind of in the works of making that?
we kind of have the next few chosen. I would say the next one that's coming out, I actually just filmed the video to it yesterday, is a song called Hey Little Sister that I wrote for my little sister that addresses some hard things we went through as kids and kind of domestic violence and just lots of very intense topics, which I've started to realize that the more I go into my traumas and kind of really just open that up to the world, the more people just seem to connect on a deeper level. And so that song, I think a lot of people need to hear it, and I'm really excited to get that one out.
You are known for teasing a little bit of your music on TikTok. How do you think that has impacted your musical journey so far?
I think TikTok is such a cool platform. It's, for me as an artist and just as a consumer of music, visuals are just as important as the rest of the song. So I've personally found for myself, I just love interesting and unique angles, whether that be like a silhouette in a windowsill or a cool sunset shot at the beach. I'm always filming B-roll, and then I like to kind of listen to my music and be like, does this feel like a parking lot, or does this feel like the beach at sunset, or does this feel like a road late at night driving? And I just try to match the visuals to the song, and I definitely tease probably too much music, but I really enjoy it. So
Who or what would you say is your biggest musical inspiration when creating a new song?
I grew up on a lot of artists like Elton John and Van Morrison and the Grateful Dead. I would say now my big influences are Bon Iver and Montel Fish and Lana Del Rey, and just kind of a big collection of people all across the board. I've also been going back to like Radiohead and Jeff Buckley, and just, I don't know, lots of music. So lots of inspirations.
I know you're kind of just starting out and your music is already so amazing. Do you have any goals for the future or the rest of 2022?
Short-term goals are more just in building a really strong community. I think, TikTok and all these platforms are amazing for getting listeners, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you've converted them into fans quite yet. And I really just want to work on taking the people who really care about the music and are really engaging with it and just creating a space for them to do whatever they need to do to meet each other, to communicate their ideas and messages. So that's kind of a more short-term goal. And then also just, really aligning everything. It's easy to let certain areas of your life slip. And so I just want to try to combine them all in the most positive and healthy way for myself while still putting a really high output of music and content into the world. So
lastly, we are Celeb Secrets. So do you have any secrets maybe about yourself that fans might not know?
I try to have a very calm demeanor all the time, and yet I have a lot of things running through my head, anxiety and overwhelm at all times. So I'm not different in that way. And I would say the bigger something gets for me, the more amazing and rewarding it gets, but also the more scary and just intense it all gets. So just, for anyone out there who is creating and just thinks they'll feel perfect when one thing happens, I would say it probably won't. So just make sure you root, even at the smallest stage, that kind of like love into the music rather than into like the goals and accomplishments. So I don't know if that's a secret, but that's just something about me.